Sometimes I encounter the question of how to make my stablecoins like USDT generate passive income. This video is about one such case. I've found a relatively new crypto project called Usual or Usual Money. I'm going to review it, show how to deposit, and explain the ways of earning points for the potential airdrop. Additionally, I will explain the risks that are clear to me. What is Usual? Usual is a secure and decentralized fiat-backed stablecoin issuer that redistributes ownership and value through the Usual token. Their main idea is to create an alternative to USDT. Each year, users give billions of fiat-backed stablecoin issuers. Usual reinvents this by providing a bankless account with a more transparent and secure stablecoin, while also offering better opportunities to its users. Although terms like more transparent and secure stablecoin can sound like a marketing jargon, it's necessary to present their idea to investors and users. You can watch their video for more details. Bridging RWA to DeFi liquidity. For those who don't know, RWA stands for Real World Assets. An example of RWA is USDT, a fiat-backed stablecoin which is a tokenized representation of fiat currency like the US dollar. Become an owner, not just a user. Usual is built around the redistribution of power and ownership to the TVL providers, akin to a scenario where Tether's TVL providers would own the infrastructure and the associated revenues. Usual aims to share profits with Usual tokens holders, unlike USDT or USDC. Click on Discover How, and here is a beautiful explanation. USDT and USDC are fiat stablecoins, as we mentioned before. In 2023, these companies generated over 10 billion in revenue, with nothing shared with the crypto holders. Usual, on the other hand, plans to redistribute the generated value among its users, which is a key idea that differentiates Usual from existing stablecoins. Scroll down. Meet our products. USD0 and USD0++. You'll see their distinctions later. Join our Pills campaign. Pills here are just like common points or rewards. We'll return to discuss the risks and USD0 collateral later in this video. Now I want to show you the Usual Money application. Click on Enter App. And as usual, connect your wallet. You can still be an early user by entering the invite code. You can use my usual invite code or link, which you will find in the description. Join Early Access. Follow Usual Money on X, then continue entering the app. Here is an explanation of the possible options for farming pills. You can hold USD0++ and receive 3 pills per token. Add liquidity in USD0, USD0++ liquid pool for more than 3 pills per token, or in USD0, USDC liquid pool for 1 pill. The last option is less profitable, but more stable and less risky. Additionally, you will receive 5 pills per token if you decide to get USD0++. You can obtain USD0 by depositing USDC, USDT or USYC on the Ethereum network. Additionally, you can pass quests on Galaxy to earn more pills. It's free and easy. Click on Discover Galaxy quests. These tasks are simple and will add a small number of points, and most likely will have no influence on your final profit from the usual airdrop. I usually complete them just in case. Return to usual money. I'll skip it for now. Pick one option. Buy USD0++. Hold it and earn 3 pills per token. Provide USD0 as liquidity in Curve's liquid bond, or provide USD0 as liquidity in a Curve pool and earn 1 or more than 3 pills per token. I'll skip it for now and make the choice later. And now I can enter my usual cabinet. The total value locked, TVL, is 91.90 million, which is good to start as early user. You can see the total number of holders and your pills multiplier. The multiplier increases over time if you continue holding assets in usual. If you withdraw, the multiplier resets. Below you can see the list of possible earning options. We have already mentioned them. Here we can see the USD0 USD0++ liquidity pool gives 20x pills per day. But it's the riskiest. I'll skip it because I don't want to constantly monitor the pool. I'll start with the most straightforward way. Go to counter, then deposit. Select USDT and deposit 3000 USDT. Something is loading. I don't see any available routes. Let's try to select another coin, for instance USDC, to check. There is available route Paraswap. OK, change to USDT again. And now the system has found available route. Write 3000 USDT into the form field again. I will receive 2997 USD0. There is a small network fee. Approve. Next. 42 cents is a network fee. Approve. Token approval confirmed. Click confirm once more. This transaction costs $1.83. Wait for the process to complete. Congratulations, your order has been filled. I can then bond USD0 right from here, or I can go to the usual desk. I have a multiplier of 1, so I actually don't have a multiplier. Here it's much clearer that I need to buy USD0++ to earn 3 pills per day. Click on Max to select all my USD0. I will receive almost the same amount of USD0++, 2997.87 tokens. Then approve. Here we can briefly read about USD0++, but I will return to this question later. In short, it's like a bond that is locked, but you can withdraw it on Curve. Theoretically, you will get it at a 1-to-1 rate. Let's check this. Open Curve Finance Swap. Select USD0++ and USDT. As you can see, the conversion rate is around 1-to-1. To be accurate, it's 0.99875. Price fluctuations will occur because it depends on the amount of liquidity in a certain pool. This is one of the possible risks, but it's another big topic. You will pay Ethereum fees as usual. Return back to usual. Click on I understand the features of this product and proceed. Next, approve. Again, I pay a fee, waiting for the approval, token approval confirmed. Then click on Confirm. $1.3 fee. Confirm. Waiting. Congratulations! You are now the proud owner of the USD0 liquid bond, which is actually USD0++. Click on OK. Let's check what I have at this moment. Go to Whole. Scroll down. My position is $2,997 and all my money is in USD0++. Total pills are 0. They will be updated tomorrow. Scroll down. Another option is to add liquidity to the pool on Curve Finance. Just click on this option. Here you will see the pool, its TVL, volume, and you can select how much you want to add to this pair in a 50-50 proportion. You can also select another pool, USD0 USDC, which has around $1 million TVL, and the trading volume over the past 24 hours is 0 for now. This is because the pool was created recently. You can find the same pools accurately on Curve Finance, where you can perform the same actions and check more details about any pool. Okay, let's focus on the option I selected for investing my USDT. I deposited, and now I will farm pills and increase my multiplier. My goal here is to farm as many pills as possible and not withdraw for 170 days to keep the multiplier active. Let's learn what USD0 and USD0++ are and what they are backed by. For instance, USDT is backed by US fiat dollars, which are held in bank accounts, at least ideally. According to USD0 page, the company says that fiat-backed stablecoins are partly collateralized, but their token is fully collateralized. They provide an image showing USD0 is fully backed. Fiat stables like USDT and USDC are partly collateralized by reserves in commercial banks, which only have 10% backed deposits. This sounds good. Next, who is that collateral for USD0? USD0 collateral adheres to usual's strict risk policy, being backed by exclusively by secure short-term assets such as US Treasury bills. Their initial collateral is a hash node. They aim to diversify their collaterals in the future with firms like Ondo, Bakkt, M0, Mountain Protocol, Spica, Adept3R, and BlackRock. This idea is good. We will see how it will be implemented. I can open the Hashnode website. Hashnode US Yield Coin invests primarily in reverse repo and US government-backed securities. There is a lot of information for thorough investigation, particularly about banks and regulations. We can conclude that USD0 has USYC collateral. In contrast, I know at least one project that had no collateral at all. They provided under-collateralized loans, resulting in lost liquidity for the pool's liquidity providers, common users like us, who just lost their money. Usual Money points out that they have real collateral invested in low-risk assets. USD0 can be redeemed for common users through Curve Finance and its liquidity pools. Let's find out what USD0++ is. According to this page, it's a USD0 liquid bond. It's like a tokenized treasury bill, T-bill, which is a short-term US government debt obligation backed by the US Department of the Treasury. USD0++ generates value to holders of USD0 like me. During the pills campaign, USD0 grants access to points in the form of pills. These pills make their holders eligible for the airdrop at the end of the campaign. This means I will receive some airdrop and it will generate returns in the form of usual tokens. They also say no volatility from interest rate risk. I locked my USD0 for 4 years, which is essentially staking. Then I received my USD0++, which is a liquid representation of USD0. USD0++ then can be used on different DeFi platforms. Despite my USD0 being locked for 4 years, I can withdraw anytime at the current market price. USD0++ then can be used on different DeFi platforms. Despite my USD0 being locked for 4 years, I can withdraw at any time at the current market price, as I demonstrated on Curve Finance. There are risks associated with many people wanting to swap their tokens, but usual company says that even in the worst case, its value remains 1 to 1. We will see. I found an explanation of how they are going to prevent depegging. Parity arbitrage right. Since the underlying USD0 for USD0++ is locked, there is no open arbitrage mechanism for when USD0++ is priced below USD0. To address this, the DAO can unlock the USD0 before the USD0++ matures, if deemed necessary under DAO governance. This action allows USD0++ to be redeemable for its USD0 if the market price of USD0++ becomes depegged. This sounds good. And what is a usual token? We already know it will be a reward. Here I see that usual will be distributed among USD0++ holders, LPs, staking and other products, with 90% allocated to the community. So USD0 has real collateral, USD0++ is a liquid token of staked USD0. The usual token will be distributed and available for claiming someday in the future, likely on the project's listing day. We learned that withdrawal is possible only through Curve Finance and at the current market price. I see some risks, but I use usual money for the potential airdrop. The usual money campaign starts on July 10th and lasts for 4 months. Usual pills are pre-launch points that determine the amount of usual tokens, as I mentioned before. 7.5% of the usual supply minted at the token generation event, which is a common amount allocated for the airdrop. The multiplier starts at 1x and increases by 2% daily, compounding to over 10.5x after 4 months. Withdrawing all your USD0++ will reset your multiplier to 1. Let's look at the investors and backers. We can see only tier 2 and lower tier investors. In my opinion, we will see additional rounds of investments and possibly some tier 1 investors. Currently, the competitors I know are only Athena and Ando, so there is enough room for growth. To recap, usual money is an interesting product in its early stages. There are clear rules for the airdrop. From a risk perspective, the biggest concern I see is the potential for token price depegging. Additionally, in my opinion, users with low deposits might receive too small an airdrop, potentially benefiting only whales. If you have any questions or thoughts about usual money, write them in the comments. Also, subscribe if you learned something new. Thank you for watching.